Welcome back to Ian and Jill's 2-Up Motorcycle Adventures. We had a bit more of a leisurely start on day 47, leaving Krakow around about 10:30. Soon we had left the busy Krakow streets behind and we were back on the sweeping roads that the GS enjoys best. Before we reached Warsaw, we passed the 9,000 kilometre mark on our trip. You better not tell the kids, but we stopped for a few minutes for some light refreshments at McDonald's. They don't really watch these videos, so I think our secret's safe. Our flat in Warsaw had another underground garage accessed by a fancy lift. Unfortunately, this one seemed to have a mind of its own. The next day when we were heading out to our walking tour, it took about 5 minutes to coax it to come to our floor. When we found the lift, it gave off quite a different vibe. It really felt a bit seedy. However, when we got inside the apartment, it was absolutely fine. It was going to be our home for 3 days while we waited for the bike to be fixed, and it suited our purposes perfectly. That afternoon, after the long ride from Krakow, we decided to take it easy. We took a walk down to the nearby lake and had some cold drinks while we worked on video editing. It really was very relaxing. On day 48, after we had managed to summon the lift, we made our way down to the centre of Warsaw to meet our tour guide, Tomasz, who gave us a very enlightening tour, focusing mainly on Warsaw during World War II and the experiences of the Jews in the Jewish ghettos. Apparently there has been quite a bit of public debate about what to do with these old buildings from that period. It has been decided to preserve them, and in the case of this boundary wall of the ghetto, to incorporate it into the new building. We also visited the site of the Bridge of Sighs. It connected the big ghetto with the small ghetto across the street used by the Nazis. You may remember it from the film The Pianist, which we watched again that evening with new insight. You may remember that my motorbike still has an oil leak that was discovered by the mechanic when he's doing the 10,000 kilometre service in Bucharest. We had tried to get it fixed in Vienna, but there wasn't enough time to have the part delivered, so we phoned ahead to Warsaw, and a big thank you to Kacper, who organised for us to have it fixed while we were there. He had to order the part, which arrived just in time. We stayed around the apartment until we had the bike back, and then we visited Lazienki Park with the Palace on the Isle and Chopin's Monument, and then we went for dinner in the centre of Warsaw. Day 50, we were on the road again, and we had our fair share of breakdowns with tailbacks and border crossing again, and lots of roadworks. Another great wee spot to spend the night. As soon as we got the bike unloaded, we were keen to see the city. The next morning we were on the road again, some of them quite rough, to Riga in Latvia, where we were going to spend the weekend. The apartment block in Riga had a similar vibe to the one in Burgas in Bulgaria. It really felt like it came from the communist era, but the apartment itself was very spacious, comfortably furnished and clean, so we had nothing to complain about. After we had transported our luggage up the stairs and freshened up, we didn't waste any time making our way into the city. We walked this time because it was only about 15 minutes from the flat to the main city canal. I thought fillet of perch and pickled cucumber worked well together, while Jill enjoyed chicken with camembert and caramelised onion. The next day we visited Grace International Church and had a very happy time with Andis and Mark and Samson, Sam and others. Thank you for welcoming us. Before leaving Latvia, we visited Jurmala and had a nice long swim in the Baltic Sea. After that exercise, it was very pleasant to just lie on the sand and enjoy the late afternoon sunshine. After a while, we moved the bike to an area where there were more restaurants, and we selected some Latvian dishes, which we carried down to the seashore. After a good night's sleep, we set off for Estonia, to Tallinn. When we stopped for our daily refuel, we met a group of German motorcyclists who were heading the same way as ourselves. And the Estonian border buildings had a distinctly abandoned feel about them. We arrived at our accommodation in Tallinn about 2 o'clock, but the earliest check-in was 3. We tried the keypad on the gate, but it obviously was timed, so it didn't work at that point. We went to grab a coffee and then returned an hour later. Amazingly, although we had a completely dry journey, the rain started just a few moments before we arrived at our accommodation. And it was a light rain at that point. It turned heavy later, so we delayed our trip into the town until it was dry again. The accommodation itself was really excellent, probably one of the best of the trip so far. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you'd like to follow the rest of our trip, and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video.